Welcome to the Channel 6 News. Here are the top 10 events of the 1870s. Let's head on over to the refinery with Reggie.
Standard Oil first started in 1865. The growing refinery business exploded to dominate all of Cleveland. From there they fought the uphill battle of mercilessly beating out all the competition to rule all of America. So I see this Rockefeller fella is successful. What exactly makes this oil product so great? Well, certainly doesn't taste good.
In other news, an unpleasant and horrendous event occurred on surveillance tape just yesterday. Two young men were going to perform their civic duty to vote when this happened. Now, before we run the tape, I must warn you, what you're about to see is disturbing. I would advise any children to leave the room.
Yo, can we get some votes?
Nah, I don't like your hair.
What about me?
Yeah, I like your hair. We're alike in many ways.
As you can see by the footage, the man's hair has the potential to keep millions of kids up late at night. But despite this, you've also witnessed disenfranchisement, which is highly illegal now thanks to the 15th Amendment, and shall be dealt with in court. Well, let's head on to a lighter note in the lifestyle segment with Rob.
Thank you, Phil. Roger and I were just getting ready to head into the Cherokee Nation to visit some distant relatives.
What? What'd you say?
The Cherokee Nation.
What are you talking about?
Roger, I was just saying that we were about to head to the Cherokee Nation for our amazing lifestyle segment, right?
Man, what the is a Cherokee Nation? You mean Kentucky? Dude, there's no Cherokee Nation anymore. Remember the whole Indian Appropriation Act of 1871? That whole thing where the government decided that the Native American tribes, like the Cherokee, should no longer be defined as their own nation?
Late one night, when we were all in bed, Miss O'Leary lit a lantern in the shed. Her cow kicked it over, then winked her eye and said, "There'll be a hot time in the old town tonight."
Sleep well tonight, and make sure pets don't have access to a lantern like that cow did in the Great Chicago Fire of 1879 that killed 300 and left over 100,000 homeless. Buy the new Edison Labs light bulb. Pre-order now, coming summer 1879.
Welcome back. In other news, many Southerners are outraged by the new law by President Grant decreeing that people should be punished for their crimes. It's a radical act. It's very shocking. It obstructs their luxurious Friday night excursions of racially motivated mob lynchings and whippings. As now, martial law can be imposed on any Ku Klux Klan activity. And now, we have a special guest who just released a best-selling novel called The Gilded Age, A Tale of Today. Critics are calling this useless and just plain stupid. What do you have to say, Mr. Twain?
No country can be well governed unless its citizens as a body keep religiously before their minds that they are the guardians of the law, and that the law officers are only the machinery for its execution, nothing more.
Thank you so much. Let's move on to another topic. Panic has hit the streets. Some are even calling it the Great Panic of 1873. The USA has suffered a huge financial crisis. Most economists are pointing to the speculative fever. Inflation has risen due to the withdrawal of federal deposits under the assumption that the government was selling land for state bank notes of questionable value. Others are also quick to blame President Jackson for not renewing the Second Bank of the United States charter or privileges. Whatever the reason or cause may be, our sources say we have nothing to worry about. Once new policies and regulations are implemented, our economy will bounce back and be stronger than ever. Never again will the USA be confronted with such a devastating crisis and be brought to its knees by irresponsible debt. Never, ever again will the United States of America be brought to its knees. Well, now I bring you another special segment with Rob about the new telephone that was just patented by Alexander Graham Bell.
Yes, that's right, Phil. Here I have the telephone. It allows us to send harmonic messages. It works by vibrating this wire from sonic waves that occur when we speak. The waves travel up the wire magnetically to someone else's phone.
Great. Fantastic. And now for some serious news. The presidential elections are about to be released any moment now. The battle between Rutherford Hayes versus Samuel J. Tilden is now about to be revealed. What are your thoughts? And to share his thoughts, we have here presidential analyst, Mr. Dickens. Mr. Dickens, what are your thoughts?
We have a clear indication from the poll that Samuel J. Tilden will gain an easy and clear victory. Almost 99% of the polls show that Samuel J. Tilden will be the victor. And all the media outlets are pushing that very message.
Mr. Dickens, I really have to take this phone call, okay? Really? Mr. Dickens, I'm really sorry to inform you, but all our polls were completely wrong. Our correspondents tell us right now that Rutherford Hayes has won the presidential election.
What? How is that possible?
Now, I know you don't like Mr. Hayes, but he wasn't a bad candidate.
Yes, of course, you're quite right. I mean, he is a Republican after all. He will surely do right by the progressive social values that are...
Mr. Dickens, I'm really, really sorry. We got another phone call, though. What? Mr. Dickens, we've just received word that Rutherford Hayes has met in secret to deliver an agreement with the Democratic Party that gives all the power over the states of Louisiana, Carolina, and South Georgia to the Democratic Party, relieving them of all martial law and all of what we've worked for the 15th Amendment. This compromise of 1877 has destroyed and ruined the Reconstruction era.
What? Man, forget this. I'm out of here.
Yeah. Let's go protest violently and meaninglessly in the streets.
Yeah. Sounds pretty good.